The Boys is one of the best superhero anythings that come out in the last few years. Just a pure 10 out of 10. The way that the story's told, the way that the characters are written, it's genuinely amazing. But when things end up being that good comes biases, and those biases show themselves in many different ways. The way it shows itself in Homelander is people think that he's way stronger than he actually is. Well, I'm here to tell you, he's not like that at all. 9 times out of 10, if you put him in a fight with any fictional character, he's probably going to lose it. You don't believe me? That's fine. Let me tell you.
That girl, she got on my clothes. That little girl that she got it. You better pop. Are you serious? I swear my money is serious. Okay, all my checks, I just carry.
Now, before we really get into this video, let me break a few things down so we're on the same page and nobody's confused. This is not going to be one of those power scaling videos where I pull out my little handy dandy calculator and go into rocket science into the 5th Newton to explain how Homelander can't beat this, and this guy. No, this is just me talking about guys I think could beat him, and you're just going to have to take my word on it. Besides, don't I look like a trusting individual? You can take my word. Now, I may be a little late on this, but when The Boys was airing, I was seeing a lot of overrating of Homelander. And it just confused me. Because what were you seeing in that show that made you think he was really a demon? He was really just like that? I'll tell you what, they weren't seeing anything. It's really just the One Punch Man argument. And before I get to my point, let me just get this out the way immediately. If Homelander runs into Saitama, Homelander's head is right here, his body out there. Alright? He's dead. He absolutely, relentlessly gets obliterated. But my point is, people think that Saitama is on Goku's level, and yes, Saitama is strong, but Saitama is really just fighting weak niggas. He's fighting lamos. He's fighting losers. And that's not to say that the people Saitama are fighting are weak in general. It's just the fact that if you were to put those people, let's say, in the Dragon Ball universe, they're not beating Krillin. They're just not that strong, but in their verse, they're really strong. And that's how it is with Homelander. Homelander is super strong in his verse, but let's say you put him in front of one Ninja Turtle, he gets demolished. They make fun of him until he cries. Homelander gets made fun of by Mikey, then Raphael punches him 2 times and they go out to eat pizza. Like, it's not comp. So now that we've gotten that out the way, let's talk about the people that beat him. Let's say the obvious ones first. Superman, entire Dragon Ball universe. I am being so serious. I do not know if he beats Chi-Chi if she's angry. I don't think it happens. Tien, Yamcha, whoever you need to say it because you're probably right. We also have Ben 10. Ben absolutely just destroys that dude. Let's say that they didn't lie about Homelander's origin, and Homelander actually is an alien. Ben would turn into Homelander, beat the shit out of him, and create a new slur for his race, and beat the shit out of him again. Now that the extremely obvious ones are out the way, let's talk. For the first person who absolutely violates Homelander, we got... I could see Homelander saying some slick shit about Mario's accent. He hears and he's like, oh, go back to Italy. You shouldn't be in America. And Mario's just like, here we go. And he hits him over the head with a hammer. And Homelander just fucking dies. You know, I genuinely think Mario can do a hit and run with the Mario Kart on Homelander. And do not forget, everything that I said here translates over to Luigi, everything translates over to Wario, everything translates over to Waluigi. He just gets beat up by a bunch of plumbers. He gets absolutely beat up by Jordan's competition, basically. And if we're talking about Mario, we might as well talk about Sonic. Absolutely just torches him. There's genuinely not a single thing Homelander could do against Sonic. It would be embarrassing. He would be making fun of him. He would be doing all of that. But for the sake of having fun, Supersonic, it gets even worse here. The dude's not joking around anymore. He can fly now, and he's even stronger and even faster. There's about 16 different ways Sonic could kill Homelander before he would even blink. That's how fast he is. And he has 7 different other forms that could get the job done if he felt like it. But since we're talking about fast, everything I said about Sonic in terms of speed, Homelander, it's not safe for you here, man. If there's 16 different ways Sonic could kill Homelander before he blinked, the Flash has at least 20 million before his brain told him to blink. It's not even a competition. It's actually embarrassing. You're out of your pay grade, Homelander. Please go home. And if we're talking about DC characters, we might as well talk about Mr. DC himself. Batman vs. Homelander is a situational one, because yes, Batman can win, but he can also lose. If this is a situation where Batman runs into Homelander and they're supposed to fight each other and they don't know anything about each other, Homelander, he's probably gonna lose that. But if this is like Batman runs into Homelander and they're supposed to fight each other without knowing anything about each other, Homelander is probably beating Batman. But I would not be surprised if Batman could figure some shit out. 7 times out of 10, Batman is probably losing that, because if Homelander really wanted to, he could just rip his arms off. But if Batman knows that Homelander is similar to Superman, it's over. Because if push comes to shove, and Superman's in the right situation, Batman can get the drop on Superman. If Batman can get the drop on Superman, what the fuck do you think he's gonna do to Homelander? He's getting more than the drop. He's gonna drop him straight to hell. Besides the fact that Batman doesn't kill, but you get my point. But that's not the only person he loses to. He also loses to... Now obviously they wouldn't be all coming at him at once. You could put him in a line and just have them take turns beating his ass. It wouldn't be too bad for him. Till Darth Vader shows up. Then maybe he wouldn't be having too much fun, because he would easily, and I do mean easily, say some slick shit to Darth Vader. That hand go out like these. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. And it's too late, he's dead. Shit, we can throw in Obi-Wan too. Fuck it. Anybody with a lightsaber, man. Before I name anybody else, I just want to say that this is really just embarrassing, because he really loses to a lot more characters. I just haven't named them yet. Because if I went and told Donkey Kong that Homelander took all his bananas, Donkey Kong proceeds to beat the shit out of Homelander until he finds those bananas. But funny enough, Homelander losing to all these people outside of his verse, whether they be serious characters or not, would genuinely fit his character, because he's not as strong as he thinks he is. And him finding this out and not being able to do anything about it, because they would just beat his ass if he did, would send him into a spiral. I could genuinely go down the Cartoon Network catalog and just name off characters that could beat him. You know what? That's a good idea. We're gonna do that. First of all, what Mordecai and Rigby could do to him is going to be absolutely embarrassing. Rigby would start fucking ham-boning so loud that the god of sound comes down. It's like, hey bro, can you stop? He ignores him, keeps ham-boning, and he kills the god, and then it ricochets to Homelander and it kills Homelander too. Dexter, I don't even know. He's got a bunch of ways to take your ass out. He can make a machine specifically designed to beat you. He can make a mecha on some Power Ranger shit. Camp Lazlo, I don't even remember what they do in that show outside of being at a camp, but I'd be willing to bet money they beat your ass too. Codename Kids Next Door, they'll probably make some cotton candy bazooka and take his head off his shoulders clean. Courage the Cowardly Dog would simply just not be scared of him, and it would drive him insane to the point of where Homelander just dies off of that. Ed, Edd, and Eddy would scam him out of all the money he has left and then take turns throwing jawbreakers at him at Mach 12. Then Ed would just eat him alive like that one time he was a monster in that episode. Gumball and Darwin, I don't even want to say it. They do him dirty by accident, just like Mordecai and Rigby. So basically, Cartoon Network solos. Badly. And you know what? Fuck it. Let's take it over to the next network. Zack and Cody. Zack makes fun of him so much that he has a mental breakdown and he never recovers. That's so Raven. Raven has a vision that Homelander's gonna kill her, and she does everything to go out of her way to make sure Homelander doesn't do it, and by accident, she ends up getting Homelander killed because a bookshelf fell on him or something. Hannah Montana. Miley Cyrus sings a little bit too loud and it hurts his ears and bursts his eardrums, and he starts crying and dies. Wizards of Waverly Place. You don't even need Alex. You could just get Max. He'll probably turn him into a sandwich by accident and eat him. Phineas and Ferb, they could just make some contraption that takes his powers away. And then Dr. Doofenshmirtz makes some innator that makes him fucking dance for the rest of his life until he dies. And you know what? I was gonna take it over to Nickelodeon too, but I think you get the gist of this video. Homelander is a bitch. But you know what? To send everybody home happy, I'll name off one Nickelodeon person. SpongeBob solos him in the name of Nickelodeon. So SpongeBob beats him, everybody that's been on Nickelodeon beats him too. So boom, there you have it. Homelander is simply just not like that. Let me know if you disagree with what I said and who could beat Homelander, and let me know who you think could beat Homelander. Thank you all for watching till the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, maybe even subscribe. Stay safe, drink some water, and as always, have yourselves a damn good one.
My girl likes me only when we're alone. She acts so different when on the phone. She tryna change me, know that I won't. I'm not from here, I wanna phone home. My girl only likes
Good morning.
she